What is going on, Toronto Raptor fans? We are getting a little bit of a treat tonight. It started out a little scary. Toronto Raptors playing the Indiana Pacers, the 1 and 11, now 1 and 12 Indiana Pacers. And Raptors came out of the gate looking a little sluggish. It was 6-0 early. Brandon Ingram was missing. Brandon Ingram's been missing his threes. I'm not bagging on Brandon Ingram. I think this trade has worked out well. I think it's been a great success to have a guy that can take the pressure off of Scotty Barnes. We've seen Scotty going crazy, Magic Johnson style with the assists and points with the pressure being off him. He loves to just feed the ball. In fact, we'll get into some of the sweet plays that he's been able to do. But yeah, Ingram started out the game missing his threes, and his three shot hasn't been there, which crazy enough, I think actually leads to the potential for even more offense from this guy once he starts getting going. He's got the mid range there. He's almost, money. I think Jack Armstrong said it's like death and taxes from that elbow shot that he hits consistently. And yeah, it's just been a treat to watch. But tonight, the player to really excel was Jakob Poeltl. Um, Man, he was there cleaning up. Grady Dick had a wide open three, which again, I know he'll start hitting his soon too. But Jakob was there to clean up that. There was a sweet pass in actually from Ingram, where Jakob Poeltl was just wide open, going to the hole. They were really, really feeding on him, not just pick and rolls, even though there were other plays where he was like sort of coming off the screen and then just like slicing on an angle such that their defender wasn't coming over or wasn't following. And Pirtle was just wide open. Passes from Quickly, passes from Barnes. Barnes gave him the sickest no look pass, though. I think this made it like 77-60. It was really when the game started getting out of hand. Scotty Barnes is looking like he's going, to the three, like either Quickly, maybe Ingram, even possibly RJ, who was over on the side. But he just into Quickly without, into Pirtle without looking at him at all. It was crazy. The defense was so, looking where Scotty was looking. They had no clue that Pirtle was the only one going to the basket. Anyway, crazy, crazy game. Nice to see. I mean, an expected win. But in the last few games, we've seen Pirtle contributing as he's sort of getting healthier, coming back. Unfortunately, he didn't play in that game against Philly. Was a back to back also, but we should have taken them out. Anyway, I hate Philly, and I hate to see Joel Embiid do anything, and he actually was able to do some stuff, get some points against us because there was no defender like Pirtle to stop him in the paint. But tonight's action, we had 7 Raptors in double digits. Crazy, amazing, spreading around the offense. Brandon Ingram, 19 on reasonably efficient, 6 of 12, 50%. 0 for 2, though, from three. As I said, he took both of those early and then, sort of just went away with it. He was obviously not feeling that he had it. 22 from RJ and Jakob Poeltl. Uh, Scotty Barnes with 14. Scotty Barnes had 11 rebounds and 6 assists as well. Again, just a few assists away from another triple double. And Emmanuel Quickly has stepped up his game. Only 12 tonight, but 7 assists. And Quickly didn't play a lot. He seemed to be the first one that went to the bench when the game was getting out of hand. I think they're trying to get, Shed more looks. For a minute, they had both point guards out there. They were doing the old sort of Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet thing with the double guard out. They had Quickly and Shed playing sort of earlier in the fourth quarter. But yeah, once the game got out of hand, quickly went to the bench and had less minutes. In fact, do I have his minutes here? Oh my God! Oh, they're all the way over there. Well, actually, decent still. Ended up with 29, but compared to Scotty Barnes and Brendan Ingram, he did not have as many. And then we've got Sandro Mamu Kalashvili. Sort of got that there with 12, and Colin Murray Boyles had ended up in double digits with 10. Now, again, I think some of his points came in garbage time, but still, he is getting more and more comfortable, I think, making shots. He still is sort of a pass first guy. I think that's just being a rookie, getting used to the speed of the game. He probably isn't the best shooter that we've got, obviously, and he kind of knows it. But I feel like it's more of like an intimidation thing, thinking that, oh no, I'm not the guy that should be shooting, and I'm here for defense. I'm here, as a not even tertiary, like he's the fourth or fifth guy out there that is supposed to be putting the bucket or the ball in the bucket. So he tends to have that mentality still to dish it off. There was one play where he was clearly wide open. I mean, he could have just dunked it even, and he was still dishing it off to Sandro or Grady Dick even a couple of times, passing it on. In fact, they even went back and forth once. I think he passed it to Sandro, passed it to him, and then he passed it back to him. And then Sandro was kind of like, you can tell, you were just open. You should have just put it in. And anyway, he ended up going up and putting it in himself. But Jacoby Walter, a little disappointing. Didn't have tons of minutes, 14, but still 3 points out there. He was a +6, which is nice. But Jamal Shed, contributing off the bench. There's really been some great play coming from Sandro Mamushkashvili and Jamal Shed. Jamal Shed, I'm liking. I heard someone again comparing him to a Fred VanVleet. But I think this guy's developed a little quicker than Fred VanVleet. I mean, both of them undrafted and shorter, backup point guards. But Shed is a little bit taller than Fred, I think. I don't know what they're officially listed at. I should probably check that out before I start making comments. But for the eye test, like I almost feel like I'm taller than Fred VanVleet. I'm not even sure he was actually 6 feet, but they said that he was. But yeah, Jamal Shed, I think, is more developed than Fred VanVleet was at this point. Fred VanVleet spent time down in 905, and I don't think Shed does play those games. Maybe he does, though. And again, I should look into that before I'm making comments, but it seems to me like he's, a performer on the team. He's clearly one of the important guys coming off the bench tonight. I mean, he ends up with 7 points, 4 assists in 17 minutes of play, and he's a +7 overall. Crazy. Had 2 steals. Yeah, solid guy, effort guy. Seems to be good communicator too. Like Bi seems to, I saw a few plays where he was sort of steering him around, but ended up moving it so that the ball would kick, and then end up back in Bi's hands, and he was doing his little midi jumpers over top of the defenders. But yeah, still good stuff. Solid overall. Pascal Siakam had a pretty great game for Indiana. I mean, Indiana's just decimated. They've got, all kinds of people injured. I mean, I can't imagine going one game away from winning the NBA and then losing your guys. It'll watch it be like when the Blue Jays end up with Vladimir Guerrero hurt next year and then go 1-11 to start the season. I hope not. But anyway, that's sort of an interesting comparison that could potentially happen. But yeah, they got 30 points from Pascal, 22 from Nemhard. I was laughing with my son watching, saying, obviously, the people that care about the Raptors, you've got Canadian born, so therefore likely a Toronto Raptor fan. I believe I've heard Nemhard and his brother, both saying that they are fans of the Raptors and were growing up. And then you got former player Pascal Siakam, who's going to, show out not only against his best friend Jakob Poeltl, but the Toronto Raptors in general, which is sort of ironic because you think that we'd know a little better about his game. But if he's putting the effort in, I mean, he's a solid enough player that he's difficult to stop. But yeah, wow. So great effort. 129-111 was the final score. And this now puts the Toronto Raptors. We are 3.5 games back, which is not a lot. I mean, obviously, there's only been a few games in the season still, but we're hitting our stride a little bit, and we've got Detroit Pistons in first place, second New York Knicks, 2.5 games back. Cleveland Cavaliers, who we have beaten twice, are 2.5 back also, so sort of tied with the Bucks. They're just their record 9-5. It's a worse percentage than the 8-4 Knicks, so that's why they are behind them. Atlanta Hawks, shockingly, again, we obliterated game one of the season, and they're sitting at 8-5, only 3 games back. Milwaukee Bucks 3 games back, and we've beaten the Bucks. We should have beaten the Bucks the first time we played them as well. We just lost a little bit, and we did not have Jakob Poeltl for that game either, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So again, my point is these are beatable teams, and we're going to be playing Philly. We've got the same record as them. Uh, I think, I guess, because they beat us, there's a tiebreaker there, so they're ahead of us in the standings. But um, I do not see now Philly. I think could continue to slide. I mean, it's been really exciting with what VJ Edgecombe has done over there for them, and Tyrese Maxey's on a tear. Tyrese Maxey's always been solid. You can go back to any of my videos. I've been a supporter of that guy, but the big man is the one I don't like, and I'm not a Paul George fan. I think Paul George, I don't even understand that guy. He was okay once on the Pacers, but since he left there and bounced around to everybody else in the league, guy's brutal. And I can't believe the nonsense that would have potentially gone on had Kawhi Leonard stayed as a Raptor at some of the trades that he was talking about us making. I mean, it's bad enough the Clippers traded to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and all those picks who have turned into ridiculous players for Paul George. And now anyway, we see the Cavs looking like or sorry, not the Cavs, the Clippers looking like the oldest team that they actually are. I mean, they are the oldest team in the league, but man, they are hurting. Back quickly, let me just see where the heck they're at in the standings here. Yeah, they're 4-8. I mean, they traded away Norman Powell too. They have no offense, but sorry, I'm not here to talk about the LA Clippers. Yeah, Raptors. Raptors should. Oh, sorry. My point though was that Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think they're going to maintain this. Um, they'll step on their own toes like they usually do. Even the Chicago Bulls, who started out really well, they're starting to come back down to reality. I do think the Orlando Magic, who are right now behind us, could possibly move themselves up. Um, their guy Bain that they traded for from Memphis, he hasn't been playing well, and he should do better than he has been. So yeah, easily Toronto Raptors. My point is could get into. I predicted they would be sixth, and they are literally sort of tied for sixth. And as I said, the only reason Philly is ahead of us is that they have the tiebreaker. But we play them again coming up, and so yeah, should be able to destroy them. Yeah, coming up next in the schedule, we are playing the Charlotte Hornets on Monday. We've got Philly on Wednesday. I said they were coming up, and then we're playing Washington and then Brooklyn. So I mean, I don't see why we don't plow through those four teams. A nice win in Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte's got some decent new bulls doing really well for them where they drafted. They've got a couple of the top rookies on their squad, but still, uh, Ball is hurt. LaMelo, he's not playing. And so, we should be able to beat them and build that confidence to get through Philly. Uh, that one's going to be in Philadelphia, so they might have some home court. But again, who knows? Embiid will probably injure himself before that game and not play. So we should be able to steamroll through these next 4 or 5. Cleveland might get some revenge on us. They were on a back-to-back, even though they had rested. Um, oh my gosh, who the heck is their center? What is wrong with me? Anyway, I'm the worst for names, as we all know. But they didn't have Garland, and they didn't have their other center in the game against us. So who knows if it's a full squad? It might be a good test for us to see where we're at in the standings. And then we're playing Pacers again and Charlotte. So yeah, reasonably easy schedule next after that. So a couple of testers, see what we can do against Cleveland, see what we can do hopefully against Philly. If they do have everyone playing, even Paul George might be coming back. I heard. And then we got the game against the Knicks. But yeah, I don't see why we don't end up in sixth place by the end of next week. And we will keep track of that. Thank you guys for watching. This channel is all about being a place where we can revel in the victories after the Toronto Raptors win, which we did again today. We're on a nice little 3-game win streak. And we have won, oh my gosh, 7 of the last 8 games. So good to see we're going in the right direction. I think the team's gelling. I think we're getting used to playing with Brandon Ingram. I think we're seeing, RJ Barrett. It's a madman. Anyway, quick aside, while we're watching the game, my son says, isn't it unbelievable? RJ Barrett has become the best player from that draft. And it was Zion and John Morant and then RJ Barrett. Man's becoming my favorite Raptor. I pray that we don't try and trade this guy away. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Mr. Beast for President. Please subscribe, give me a comment too. I don't get almost there's hardly any comments. Oh, but there was one comment actually from the last game or last video where I lost my original first game Raptor tickets. little update. I still can't find them. Somebody said look in the ball. I don't know if they meant that envelope that was in that had my sort of proof of whatever it's called, proof of authenticity. Thank you. Jesus, lost myself there for a second. Um, it wasn't in there, sadly. So I'm still looking for the tickets. I can't find them. As soon as I have them, of course, I will reveal them on here. And anyway, appreciate you guys. Thanks. We'll see you next game. Ciao.